Right, hello. We're getting started. Hi.
Hey,
We're gonna give everybody a little bit more time to get in here. Invite
okay.
everybody in while I'm setting up my slides. But welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Right. I'm gonna set up my slides. I want to make sure we're recording too. All right. Okay. Move stuff around. All right. All right. Oh, give me a little background. Good evening. Good evening.
Evening.
Right. I'm going to turn the waiting room off so people can just come in as they come in. All right. I'm going to get the slides set up. We'll give everybody like 3 more minutes. In the meantime, feel free to tell me your name, where you're joining in from, and then if you have any questions. I did receive some questions ahead of time that I'm gonna address, but you all just let me know if you have any questions. You can put them in the chat or we can just talk now. I am as I me and these slides on Canva, we we got a love-hate relationship. These slides on Canva. Okay. I'm gonna share. I may need somebody to be my tech support and let me know when y'all can see and hear everything. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. I am going to. All right. Let me know if you all can see the slides. Okay. Can you all see my slide?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, okay. All right, we're gonna give everybody 1 more minute, but thank you all for joining. Thank you all for coming on time. Always give people a few more minutes. I'm gonna pin myself. While I go, I'm trying to find like a good little spot so I'm not chopping off my head. All right, so you all should see me live in the box and then the slides. And how's the volume? How's everything look and sound? How we doing? Let me know. Oh, wait a minute. Is it showing me in the chat? All right. Let me know in the chat if you all can hear me and see me. Yes. Okay. Perfect. 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 Okay. We're going to just jump right into it. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Trisha. Let me know. It just says Deep Headaway's iPhone. Let me know what your name is or what you want to be called. All right. We're just going to let other people join as they come in, but we are going to go ahead and get started. Deanna. Oh, such a pretty name. All right. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Hi, I hope everyone is having a good afternoon, a good evening. I am coming to you all from Texas, so it is actually 6 o'clock here. So it's a little earlier here. I know my East Coast people, it's like 7, and then the West Coast, is it like 4 or 5? Let me know if anybody's on the West Coast. I like these to be open, fun, interactive. So feel free to ask questions really at any point. We do not need to wait till the end to ask questions. This is for you all. So ask the questions as they come up in your brain. You can put them in the chat. If I can't get to them right in that moment, I will get back to your question. Also, I always highly recommend that you engage in the chat. You can put your LinkedIn profile in the chat and encourage other people to connect with you. I've had people like get interviews and job offers and clients and even like accountability partners from the comment section. So I know some people don't allow that. We do here. This is for you all. So if you want to put like your like LinkedIn profile in the comments and you wouldn't mind people connecting with you, feel free to do that. Okay. This is for you all. I want you all to have fun, enjoy it. Also, what is this workshop about? So this is my free workshop on how I manifested 40,000 in 1 month as a woman of color business owner. If you all have followed me on LinkedIn or have been to any of my workshops, a lot of them are always around careers. That was my business. Well, is my business. I am a career coach. I have helped my people with businesses, but I haven't really promoted it as much. And honestly, with everything that is going on in the world, in America, I was like, no, we need to learn how to run our own successful businesses with flexibility and freedom. So I want to share with you all the techniques that I have used myself, things that I have used with my clients, and I'll share some client stories with you all so that you can create, like, honestly, you can create like a sal. I remember at one point in my life, like, I was not even making $40,000 a year. So to make it in 1 month was wild for me. Like, I just tell you, it was wild. And I am someone who started from zero and worked her way up to a multiple six-figure business. Okay. So I'm gonna start I'm gonna tell you all about that, specific techniques that I did. It's hosted by me, Latrice Huff, sponsored by Dream Life CEO. I'm gonna tell you all about that. First, I wanted to address a couple of questions I got was like, will this help me with my career and promotion? Yes, these are some of the same techniques that I have worked with my clients on in creating their careers. If people know me, I am known for getting these amazing results for my clients. I have a whole branding program where I help Black women and women of color hit their first six figures in their career. So, yes, these techniques will help you with your career. Honestly, though, right now, I don't recommend that you only have one source of income. I highly recommend that you have another source of income besides a job, whether that's rental, whether it's investments, whether it's owning your own business. I don't care what it is. You want it right now, you want to have a secondary source, okay? That's my recommendation. And then I got another question about like, is it like manifestation? Is this all about manifestation? It is not all about manifestation, but it is a huge part of it. And what I like to call it is business manifestation, how I created this in my business, really not doing a lot of the traditional things that I was advised to do. Okay. Um, and then some people had a question of like, why, like, like, who am I, what am I doing? So I'll explain like who I am as well. But a lot of people don't know I actually have a business degree. So my business is my field of study. I have a business degree with a concentration in marketing, and I have had some sort of business since I was a teenager. I've always had little businesses before I really kind of found my niche and blew up. But those taught me valuable lessons too. All right. And I will say this, as you all are joining, if you know of anyone who needs to hear this, share this out to them. Don't share the Zoom link on social media, but if you have a girlfriend and she's like, "Hey, I'm concerned with my career. I have a business, or I'm thinking about starting a business," feel free to share the Zoom link out. Text it to her or DM her confidentially. This is for us. This is for Black women and women of color. This is for us. So, yes, this will help you in your career. Yes, this will help you with your business if you have both. For years, I had a steady growing career and a business on the side. I did that for years, and that really helped me really just feed my kids, honestly, and have sustainable income. Okay, let me make sure. All right, here we go. Can y'all see my little slides? Shift. Okay, what you should know, I'm going to teach you on my framework to attract ideal clients who value your work, pay your rates, and refer to other people. A huge chunk of my money always comes from referrals and renewals. I have clients that I have worked with for years. And that is because we work well together. I listen to them, but then once they accomplish one goal, we then work on the next big chunk, or what is that next big goal, right? So you should have I want you all to think about these things when you're thinking about your business, your structure. Think about that. Also, discover how to increase your income, create new opportunities, and attract ideal client using what I like to call my 3M formula: mindset, messaging, manifestation. And I'll go more into that. We're also going to have 30 minutes of Q&A. Like I said, we can ask questions throughout. If I can't get to it while I'm presenting, then we'll get to it at the end. But I try to set aside like 30 minutes for Q&A. All right. And then special thank you gifts. When you stay to the end, I have a couple of thank you gifts. This is only going to be for the people who showed up live as a thank you. All right, take notes. I have my own notes, you guys. I always recommend write things down. You can take screenshots if you like. If there is something I say or on here that really resonates with you, feel free to take a screenshot that you can share and tag me. But yeah, take notes, comment, have fun, learn what you need to make your next moves. I'm honestly right now, and this is my motto, like the next 6 months will be my best months. I'm like, these will be my best months ever. And we can make it so. So you're going to learn the surprising forgiveness practice I use to manifest. I use this before I manifest. This is me. And this is something that I have discovered works very well for I'm just say Black women and women of color, right? We need some of the times we need to release things in order to receive, right? And so I like to start anything I do anytime, like before I ask for more, I'm like, what do I need to release? And a lot of times it could be resentment, pain, hurt, things like that. I need to forgive and release that. Also, the three biggest mistakes women of color business owners make when trying to attract more income: the visualization practice I use to increase my income and attract clients consistently, and how to align your actions so opportunities begin to flow towards you. Okay. And then the exact framework I use again to attract those ideal clients who value my work, pay my rates, and refer other people. And I'll tell you all that that month that I made the 40K, I actually worked less. I did the least amount of work. Like typing on. I probably sent the least amount of emails. I did a workshop. I had less than maybe 15 people show up. I was like, okay, I'm going to do it again. I did it again and had like 25 people show up to that workshop. Still in that month, I made $40,000. So when people tell you like, oh, you need 100, 200 people, not true. I had one coach tell me, she was like, you got to send 10 to 15 emails a day. And I was like, I'm not doing that. No, we're not doing that. All right. So really quick intro. Hey. Yeah, I love this photo. I look snatched. My daughter snatched me on this photo. I am Latrice, career leadership coach, business coach, speaker, personal branding expert, and the founder of the Dream Life CEO program. I help women of color stop playing it safe, become fearless, and have great businesses and live their dream life. I've supported dozens of women of color business owners in C-suite roles while enjoying their lives and being their authentic selves and creating lasting input. My mission is to put more women of color in positions of power, whether that is running your own business or leadership. And then I will share this. This is something recently that I was like, what do I really want my mission to be? And I was like, I really want my mission to be to help women of color create a business they love so they can live the life they deserve. That includes financial wealth. That includes freedom. That includes vacations, family time. All those things are included. And what is your dream life? What is the life that you deserve? Not the life that someone else has planned for you. Um, I always say my legacy stories. I have over 10 years of experience in HR and business. I went from an HR recruiter to running my own department to running my own business. I went from being a struggling single mom to negotiating a $20,000 promotion for myself, getting promoted every year, doubling my income without burnout, without increasing my hours, all while having a business on the side. Notice I'm not saying side hustle, side business. I had a business on the side. I had an eBay business where I sold books on eBay. That was very profitable. And then I had let's just say marketing. And then I had a marketing business, Dynamic Marketing Solutions. I had that all while I'm climbing the corporate ladder. I always say that I gave it all up for love. As you can see, it's like a 21-year gap between my oldest and my youngest. As you can see, they're like older, and then I have a little baby right there. And for me, it really showed like, how can I live my dream life and be successful? Because when I quit my job, you guys, people thought I was crazy. I quit my job, I kept my house, and like moved across country with my husband, had another baby. And honestly, now I'm living the dream life. That little baby right there is 9. Okay. He's 9. I can go on his field trips, pick him up from school, stay home in the summer, and I'm still making six figures. I actually make more money in my business than I would have had I stayed in corporate. Okay. So if some of you all are having like big decisions coming up, I even know people who have gotten laid off, and that might have been the story for them to start their own business. Now I'm like, I am making a bigger impact running a multiple six-figure business, and I have happiness and freedom. This is what I teach in my Dream Life CEO program. Like, how can you be the CEO of your dream life? Okay. And I think okay, let me guess it. Tell me if this is you. You are successful on paper, but stressed out in person. Okay. If you like on paper, you checked all the boxes, but in person, you are stressed out. No, we want to be successful on paper and successful in our lives as we define it. If you are talented, educated, and accomplished, but you are struggling with imposter syndrome and self doubt, or you want to make a bigger impact and leave a lasting legacy, a lot of else, but you feel stuck and held back. All right. Essentially, I always tell people like to if you are tired of being the worker bee and you're like, I'm ready to be the queen bee sends out the workers and they bring back the honey. If you're like, Latrice, I'm ready to be the queen bee, this is going to be for you. If you have a business but you have flexibility but no freedom, this is going to be for you as well. And I just wanted to really quickly share some client stories. This is my one client, Keisha. When she first came to me, she was actually someone who I used to work with. I always tell people, when you're starting your business, be aware of the brand that you're building, even in your career, because you never know who may see you and come back to you and work with you. So this was actually a former coworker who became a client, and she was going to start her own therapy business. She had worked with other people. They were like, you need a website, you need $10,000. It's going to take you 12 months, like a full year to get booked out with clients. And she was like, and they were like, and you got to be on social media all the time. She was like, I don't want to be on social media. She's like, I don't want to be on social media. She was like, I guess the 12 months is okay, but she's like, I gotta have a website first. She was overwhelmed. And I was like, yeah, no, you don't need to do that. I was like, what is your vision? And her vision was to have this business, a therapy practice where she served primarily Black women in the Baltimore City area. And she wanted to leave a legacy for her kids. She wanted to work with her daughter as well. She eventually saw herself like expanding. She had this full vision, but everyone kept giving her reasons why it needed to be stalled. And I was like, yeah, no, we can get started. We can get started. I was like, you don't need to use social media if you don't want to. This is why one of the things I do teach to my clients is not just manifestation. We also talk about business skills and business strategies because this is important. I I was like, you don't need to do that. Really? She's like, yeah. She's like, really? No. We actually put her on directories that were specific to her target audience and referrals. She had been in her career for almost 20 years and she had built up a lot of, I always say like she built a huge brand, right? She built a lot of equity in her brand. So when she was telling people, hey, I'm starting my own business, can you refer to me? They were like, absolutely. She was able to fill her entire practice and get 10 clients in 2 months. That's it. No social media, no funnel. She didn't even have a website. They wound up, she wasn't even fully credentialed. If any of you know about therapy, things like that, you have to be credentialed. She wound up getting self-pay clients at first. And then that's how she built her practice. But at 12, I'm sorry, at 10 clients, she was fully booked because she still worked full time. She was still working full time. So I'm sharing this so you all can see what is possible, whether you're in your business full time or you work full time. Or even some people come to me and they're looking for a job while kind of starting their business and growing their business. You can do this. Again, does it need to be a side hustle? You'll need to be hustling on the side, but you can have a business on the side that eventually grows into your full time business. Okay. This is my client, Kenya. She was working 70 hours. She was working 70 hours a week. She was a full-time business owner. She was staying up till midnight, running on empty. She said she had flexibility, but no freedom. She did have an employee, but the employee was like working more hours than they needed to, and the rate was too high. So ultimately, she had a six-figure business, but she wasn't really making any profit either. So she's working, spending all this time in the business and not even reaping the reward of financial success, right? So what we did was like, hey, you need to be able to live your dream life. I always ask this question starting off. Part of her dream life was that she wanted to be able to take midday naps. I was like, okay, let's do that. Block your schedule. What time do you want to stop? She was like, I want to stop at 6 p.m. every day, no exceptions. Let's do that. I helped her manage her employee. This is when the business skills come in. I was like, your employee can't work all these hours and you can't work alongside her. They will work, like if the employee was working on one thing, she'd be working right there on the same thing with her. I was like, no, because you're wasting. So what we wound up giving her was the freedom that she wanted to, not just the flexibility, but the freedom to go on vacation, the freedom to step away from her business, the freedom to spend more time with her kids, the freedom, true freedom. Um, I'm going to make it quick, but this was just one of my clients. She already had her own business, making 200,000. We helped her get to 600,000 in less than 6 months. All right. So I want you all to tell me, what is your intention for tonight? What are you like, Latrice? This is what I want to get from tonight. This will move the needle for me, or this will help me. I want you all to think about it. Put your response in the comments. I'm going to keep on, but because it's always a delay from the comments to what I see. But I want you all to think about it. What's your intention? All right. And then this is the question I ask all of my clients as we start. What do you want for your life? Not just your business or your career. We're going to start with your life. With your life. What do you want? Then we're going to reverse engineer a business or a career that allows you to have this. That is what makes something sustainable, okay, and lasting. I did want to quickly just talk about the unique challenges. I understand. I don't want people to be like, well, Trees, we got it's things going on here. Yes, women of color, Black women, we face unique challenges in business, like being the only one on that level or in that room. There's been plenty of times I've gone to events and I'm the only Black person. There may be other brown people, but I would be the only Black. I would say only Black woman. Okay, being misunderstood, DEI programs being cut at alarming rates. I knew a lot of coaches and consultants that made their entire business diversity and inclusion, which I loved. They were doing amazing work. But when this new administration came in, they were cutting government contracts. They were removing whole teams. And then business started to follow, like corporations started to follow. So there were companies that were making $500,000 to $1 million a year doing diversity trainings that went down to zero in like less than 6 months. All right. And so this is why I always think like mindset, manifestation, marketing, looking at the trends, what's going on is a part of your business because it's hard to have a dream life when like you're so worried about your career and business. Okay. But this is also some of the challenges we face. But I'm also going to talk about why we need more women of color business owners. Side note, I don't know if you all knew this, but Black women are the highest group that like we have the largest numbers percentage wise that are starting businesses in America. On the flip side, we also tend to generate the lowest revenue. And we tend to be leaving our businesses and return to corporate at a faster rate as well. That tells me we need more support. We face all these challenges in business, and then there's no one there to give us the support, the training, the understanding that we need to make our business grow and be sustainable. Okay. So, yes, we need more women of color in businesses. We need to be addressing the gap. We need to be talking about the importance of diversity, not just in executives and leadership positions, but all around. Positive impact that Black women and women of color can have on industries and organizations. We have built whole industries, okay? Let me just tell you, we've built entire industries around our looks, around our trends, around things that we do, the way that we speak, the way that we wear, the shape of our body have built industries, right? So why should we not really create this sustainable business for ourselves as well? All right. So I really want to get into this. This is like the crust and the meat of the presentation. Just want to check the comments. All right. I just wanted to check the comments really quick. Again, if I'm speaking, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. If you just have like a suggestion or comment, feel free to put it in there. I'm going to see if I can, y'all know, y'all, me and these Canva slides is something I just started doing, like presenting in Canva. But so I really want to chat. This is how I manifested $40,000 in 1 month, only working 20 hours a week. And some of these techniques and concepts actually came from a traumatic time in my life. I had a time when my mom got diagnosed with a terminal illness. And at the time, I was the only one working from home out of me and my three sisters. And so it was decided I would take a week off every month to be with her and take care of her after her treatments. And I thought I could just work and I could not. So I really had to learn a different way to work. I had to learn a different way to shape my business and make money. So I will tell you all that. But that set the foundation. That wasn't when I made the 40,000. That was what set the foundation of actually you can work less and make more. Because if we don't, we're going to reach a cap. And this is what happens. When I help my clients get to six figures, if we don't change their mindset, if they don't start thinking about their dream life and how they can manifest more without working less, they get capped out. And it's like, well, I can't make any more because I can't work another minute. But it's just not true. All right. I'm going to put the mutes. Um, All right, I put the mute on and for participants just so we won't catch any background noise. However, If you all want to come off mute and have a question or comment, feel free. Um, so I start everything off with a forgiveness practice. This was something I had discovered works for me, a lot of my clients, and a lot of women of color. Again, releasing to receive. And so I always think about like what it is that I want. And then I'm like, in order for me to receive this, what do I need to let go of? And a lot of times it was resentment. It was hurt. It was pain. I did a forgiveness practice. Now, I close my eyes, I get into a light meditation, and I really ask myself, who do I need to forgive? You guys, one time, and this was during this month when I made 40,000. It was actually a person from high school that I got into a fight with. So, and I want you all, whatever comes up for you, honestly, don't judge it, let it go. And I was like, okay, I need to forgive her. I need to forgive myself for holding on to this for so much. I say like I want to forgive this person, right? So I'm like I want to forgive her. I do forgive her. I release this. And I have a visual where it's like actually like I would say like this black diamond coming out, like something literally coming out of my back and like dissolving into positive vibes, right? You can make your visual whatever you want. The main point is get into a meditative state. And meditative state is literally like just closing your eyes and breathing, right? Calming your body and just asking yourself, you can say, what do I need to release, right? To receive this. Like, I want to receive this thing. What do I need to release? And then you can say, who do I need to forgive? And don't judge it. It could be something that happened 10, 15 years ago. It could be somebody honked the car at you this morning and pissed you off. Don't judge it. We're going to release it. I want to forgive this person. I'm going to forgive them. I have forgiving them. I am releasing this so I can receive. It can be as simple as that. This is something I did every day. When I first started, it probably took me like 5 to 10 minutes, honestly, because I was like judging, like, oh my God, why am I thinking about that? Once I got into it, and I still do this to this day, honestly, it could take you like 1 or 2 minutes. This doesn't have to be long, but you're going to notice, honestly, a feeling of lightness and something just lifting from you when you do this. And what I did is I had challenged myself to do a 30-day sprint. And I was like, I've always used manifestation in my life, but I never really used it for like something huge that kind of was like a huge jump for me. So I was like, I don't honestly, I was like, things were going on with my family. My daughter had health issues, stuff with my son. I was like, I don't have time to do a launch, get on sales calls with everybody. I was like, I don't have time for that. But what I did need was money, right? I was like, okay, but I do need to run my business. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go full force into manifestation. I'm going to go full force into what I know works, which is manifesting, which is using my business skills, altering my mindset and marketing, right? And I was like, and I was like, and I don't have 40 hours to commit to this. So even in my this forgiveness practice that was 10 minutes, I took it down to 1 and 2. And then visualization. Again, because I always start with what is it that I want? Right? What is this dream life? I like to really be specific. Okay. However, if you just have three things, like if you're like, while I'm building my business, I would like a $200,000 job. Okay, that's what you want. If you're like, you know what, I'm not trying to go back to corporate. I need to grow this business. I want to be able to go on vacation and still know that I'm going to be able to serve my clients and bring in revenue, right? What is it specifically? So what I do in this visualization, again, very light. This is something you can do eyes open, eyes closed at your desk. I'm a daydreamer. I don't know about y'all. If you can't tell, I have ADHD. They always say like daydreaming is a part of that. But like I am a huge daydreamer. So I can sit there with my eyes open and do this. But stepping into the new version of me, what was that version that already had the 40,000? What was she doing with it? How is she speaking? And then for me, I also get really deep into my client outcomes. I also work with people in healthcare, right, who are starting their own practices. And I always like, is it healing a particular patient? Is it seeing the smile on their face? What is the outcome you want to provide for the person or people that you serve. That will get you in such a great space. This alone had attracted people to me who were saying the exact same things I wanted them to say. Like I wanted, if we have time, I'll read you our testimonial, but I wanted someone to be like, this changed my life. This was like long-term success. And it was like the exact things that I did in this visualization. This is something I also teach my clients. We visualize. We can even take it a step farther and make this visualization tangible. If it's a certain amount of money that you want to come in, you can write a check to yourself, post that thing up, like on your wall in your bed or on your mirror, right? In the bathroom. For my career clients, I used to have them write an offer letter to themselves and then post that out where they could see it multiple times a day. For me, it was I did a PayPal notification and I put this specific amount on there. It's on my nightstand till this day. So these things can be made tangible. These things are actually going to be helping your nervous system, changing the way you think, changing the ideas that come to you. All right. This is where the aligned action comes in. Okay. Because you may be like, oh, this is like so woo woo. This is cute, but girl, how you make this money? Right. Like those were the things that I did first. And then I was like, okay, if I'm not going to do a funnel and I'm not going to like, send 15 emails and I'm not doing a launch again because I have family obligations and life obligations. What aligned action can I do? And aligned just means these actions are aligned with my goals. Okay. So for me, I wanted to create new outcomes. So I started doing speaking engagements. That was one of the ways that I was getting those clients is people were paying me to speak. And then the audience who saw me speak would like follow up with me, schedule a call, like I have a sales call with me and get in and enroll in my program. Right. I also adjusted my schedule. I was like, I'm going to be very intentional. This was something I started when my mom got sick. I started doing an A-B schedule. I do this, me personally, also because of the way my brain works. I am not someone who can sit in front of the computer for a certain amount of time and just do it. I know the way my brain works. So I set my business, because I am the CEO, on an A-B schedule. My A weeks, I call them awesome weeks. That's when I serve my clients. My B weeks is business weeks when I work inside my business. Okay. I increase my rates and I was again, I'm feeling good. I know the outcomes that I get. I have tons of testimonials. I was able to increase my rates. This is another way you can work less and earn more. And if you feel like you deserve a raise, give yourself a raise. This is the best. This is one of the things my business clients sometimes have a hard concept with. I'm like, you can just give yourself a raise if you feel like you deserve it. If the market doesn't support that, you will know. But usually as a Black woman and a woman of color in business, we usually undercharge significantly. And I simplified my business model. I was like, I'm not going to be doing all these services. I'm not going to be doing all these piecemeals. One or two things I'm serving a specific person and also renewals and referrals. So under my simplified business model, I was like, hey, yes, I can try to constantly churn new clients, or it can be simplified. I can serve my clients amazingly, get them amazing results, and then have them renew with me so we can work on a new challenge and a new goal. Let me know if this makes sense. Because I feel like I'm going a little fast, but I wanted to share this with you all. And then bonus support nervous system. Allow yourself to be supported. I did yoga in the park. I did therapy. I did EFT tapping and again, meditation. Love that meditation. Friend, therapy, coach, mentor. I'm always like, there, build your team. When people talk about working in silence, don't pay no mind to that. That's not for us. We need support. We need community. A supportive community is imperative to your career success, to your career and business success. It is imperative. I think the same slide says the same thing. Yeah. And you might have heard or even felt like you need to do everything yourself, or I can't afford support. Support comes in all different ways. Yes, there's paid support, but there's also free support. There's also online communities, whatever you choose. And you do not just need to have one, okay? But yes, you need and deserve to be supported. I think I told you all about this client with this one. Okay. So now we're going to get into the three mistakes, all right, that women of color business owners make when trying to attract more income. Here are the three mistakes. You're behaving as a worker bee instead of a queen bee. We have to work on our mindset. You are the CEO, right? Connecting time and money. This was one of the things, especially when my mom got sick, that I was like, I have to disconnect the concept of time and money. Hard work is not the key to making more money. That's not true. That's why we all know lazy people out here who got money, and we all know hard working broke people. So we know it's not the key. And then putting limits on your money. This was me. This was one of my limiting beliefs about the amount that I could actually make. It blew my mind because I was like, wait a minute. Even when I got out of college, I think I was making like 39,000 back in the day. I wasn't even making 40K a year. So to make 40K a month, it was a shock to my nervous system. So we had to get over that. These are the mistakes that I see. Again, we're not behaving like a worker bee anymore. You are the queen bee. You get to make decisions. You get to make the goals. You get to make decisions about your schedule. Sometimes it's just about giving yourself permission to do it, right? Worker bee versus queen bee. Still trying to prove yourself even when you already have the role. Executing instead of strategizing. When I am meditating, when I am visualizing, that is part of me strategizing. All right. Following instead of leading, right? Doing instead of coaching and teaching. I always call it like, what would my CEO identity do? This you can do in your career, in your business. And I have my clients do this, and I have them ask themselves whatever their dream role, whatever their ideal CEO is. I'm like, okay, what would you do in this situation? And then be that person for 24 hours, right? So really get into your CEO identity. Number two, connecting time and money. Again, time and money are not connected. This that will stall you and hold you back. If you think the only way I can make money is to provide more time in this job, in this business, or fill in the blank, you are going to stall yourself out simply because it's just not enough hours in the day and you're human, right? So you can only work but so much. And at that point, you'll cap out. So it's got to be another strategy, right? So this was the mindset shift that changed everything for me, especially when my mother was sick. She wound up getting diagnosed right around 2020. So not only did we have that happening, but like the world shut down. My son's daycare closed. So it was like all these things happening. And I'm like, I cannot work another minute. I was cutting back my hours, but I needed to make more money. My mother did not have hardly anything saved up. And it was certain things, specifically this like fancy chair. I have two sisters, so it's three of us. We could not agree on, right? And I was like, screw this. I want to pay for this myself. And I was like, I don't know if y'all have siblings, but trying to come to a consensus is hard. And I was like, I want this for my mom. I'm going to have to buy it. And that was the driving force between you need to disconnect the concept of time and money. Seriously, if you all don't take anything else from this, but this, it will change everything. Disconnect the concept of time and money. That's how you have billionaires and maybe temporary trillionaire. Because he's like, my time ain't tied to this money. You have to disconnect the concept of time and money. Okay, mistake number three, putting limits on your money. Meaning, well, the money has to come from this. I heard somebody, they was like, well, if the money doesn't come from this specific client for this specific service, then I don't count it. I'm like, but it's in your bank account. Like if you get a paid speaking engagement, so part of that 40,000 was from a paid speaking engagement. I'm like, why would you not count that? Right? Like be open and aware to like the money can come from anywhere. It can come from clients. It can come from renewals. I had someone tell me they were like, but I didn't get any new clients. I'm like, but you had three people renew with you and pay you, so therefore you have you have clients, right? So be open to how the money can come. It can come from anywhere at any time. And honestly, that 40,000, the bulk of it, I would say like 30,000 came in the last 2 days of the month. I kind of knew it was coming because people were like, hey, I'm going to enroll. So I knew things were coming, but I saw it in my account in those last 2 days. Okay. Like the full thing. Stop letting your money put you in a box. Stop deciding it can only come from one thing, one offer, one launch, one anything. Or other ways don't count. I hear people say that too. Well, if I didn't get it by myself, then it doesn't count. No, it does. And you're still going to have to serve that client. Okay. Collaborations, referrals. Once you let your brain go, one of the exercises that I do is whatever the amount is. So I used to say 25 reasons why. So like 25 reasons why this can come from anywhere, or 25 places. I've now taken a step further. So if I want 40,000, I'll come up with 40 ways this money can come to me, big or small. I could find money on the street. I could hit the lottery. I could have a client renew. I had a client who I helped like 4 years ago, like follow up, like out of the blue, message me and was like, hey, I'm working on this new project. I would like to work with you again. I had people was like, hey, can you do a speaking engagement for my company? Right. So be open, but the way to do it, literally list this stuff down so you see it's real and your brain can see that it's real too. All right. Any questions? Because I feel like we went over a lot. I gave you all some very specific strategies, but I also gave you all a framework. If you, this is what I use. I gave you all that framework. What we really touched on was that mindset, manifestation, marketing, and I always say out like business skills. And I like to even say like business manifestation, though that's the framework that you're going to work from. Then I gave you all very specific strategies that I have used and that have worked for my clients within that framework. And I'm going to share with you all. Notice I didn't say email all these people, have a launch, have this huge audience. Those things are all great, but they're not going to significantly move the needle for you very quickly. These things will. Any questions before we move on? Just want to check in. Let me see. Okay. All right. So if you're like, Latrice, I'm different. I get it. I am here to help. It is time to secure your freedom. This is my specialty. I have a whole Dream Life CEO program. I am someone who has already made money off of her business, who has always had a business, and then figured out how to put all of these together to make a multiple six-figure business. And now I help women of color at any level in their business. I like to call it like boardroom to business. If you are someone who's like, Latrice, I'm in my field, I'm making six figures, I always tell people you have a six-figure skill set. You can easily make six figures in your business. I am helping someone now, she's making around like 200 in her career. However, her job, the company that she works for, is a little unstable and she doesn't feel secure. And I was like, completely understandable. But her lifestyle is at that 200K. So what we're helping her do is build a business at that 200K level while she can still live her life and still work for her company part-time if that's what she wants to do. Oh, my thank you gift to you all. I'm going to give you all two gifts. So if you stay to the end, just put your name. If you register online, you can just put your name in the comments and we'll know. You get to receive a 15-minute Dream Life virtual coffee call with me. So limited slots are available. So I'm only going to be doing this for you all. Then we also have LinkedIn messaging scripts for you all. So this is whether you're interested in networking with people on LinkedIn, building your brand, looking for a job, or building your business. Networking, connecting with people on LinkedIn is the way to go. honestly, in the beginning, I damn near built my entire business on LinkedIn. Even some of my clients that knew me from either a previous job or knew me a different way, they reached out to me on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a powerful, powerful tool. So we do have LinkedIn scripts for you all as well. So just, yes, in the comments, just put your name and we'll know that you stayed to the end. All right, so I'm going to leave this up. Um, and then as you all are doing that, if you have any questions, feel free to start putting your questions in the comments too. All right. And I'm going to send you all, let me get this link. I'm going to try to pull up this link for you all. Let me see. All right, let me see the presentation. Perfect. All right. Okay, so yes, I am going to, this is the link right here. It's my Calendarly link, virtual coffee. It is a 15-minute, I call it Dream Life virtual coffee call, completely free. We're going to chat 15 minutes. That's it. But I want you to tell me what's going on with you. What questions do you have that maybe you didn't want to bring up? What's your unique situation that we can chat about and how I can help you? This is my thank you gift. This is also my way of showing my appreciation to the women who have supported me, and I want you all to grow in your businesses and your career. So let me put this, I'm gonna put it in the chat. Hey Trisha, how you do? All right, Deanna, Abby. Okay. Okay, Abby. Yes. So I have you, if you didn't register, let me put this right here. I think it's a way that I can pin it. All right, I'm not sure. How do you pin? All right, I'm not sure exactly how to pin it, but you all can see, y'all should be able to see the Calendarly link in there. All right, let me see. Any other questions? Because I received some questions. I sent out a couple emails, so I received some questions and I did answer those questions at the time. We're gonna stop sharing. All right, let me see, let me see. Can y'all see me now? You should be able to see me. Let me know. Can y'all see me or do y'all see the slides? You should be seeing Latrice, but let's check. Yes, just you. Okay, perfect, perfect. Yeah, we can go back to the slides too. My pretty slides. All right. Okay, what questions do you have? It's about 1 minute to the hour to the top of the hour. And then if you all want, I've dedicated another 30 minutes, but we'll see. I'll stay as long as you all need me. Any questions do you all have about your specific challenge or what you're going through in your career or business? Any questions? All right, let me see. All right, give me 1 second. If y'all can come off of mute, my screen is looking a little weird, so I didn't, let me. have like I have like things I need to close and okay. All right, y'all, we on here. What we got questions? Okay. I feel like I've made too many mistakes in the workplace for a rate. Okay, let me. All right, I'm gonna pull this up for whatever reason. It's showing me a wonky screen, you guys. Okay, I got it. So this is Deanna. I feel like I've made too many mistakes in the workplace for a raise, but I'm a very crucial part of the team. They cannot function without me. But everybody, I would say what type of mistakes, because everybody makes mistakes. Did you make mistakes that cost them like money, or did you make a mistake that was like a lesson learned for you too? Think about that. Like what type of mistake is it? Um, and then if they can't function without you, anytime I've ever asked for a raise is when I knew for sure they could not function without me. Right. I was like, I know for a fact, like they like either somebody had just quit or got fired. And I was like, now is my time. Of course, you're part of the team. But here's the thing. I always say before you ask for a raise, one, go through the process we just talked about. What is it that you want? How much do you want? What is the outcome? Visualize them being like, yes. They can only say two things, yes, no, or maybe so. That's what I used to always get maybes. Like, and I'd be like, okay, yes, yes, no, or maybe. You want a yes, right? Document why you should get this. Have a bit literally have a business case. Whether you share it with them or not, it will prove to you if you're crucial, how are you crucial? What will happen if you like quit today or tomorrow? How much would they lose? How much time, how much money, how much processes would be gone? How much internal what do they call it? Internal assets would they lose because you are no longer there, right? Also, again, look, I would also think about if you're crucial to them, could you be crucial in your own business to another company? Meaning you can keep your job and serve clients doing the same thing. So think about those things as well. All right, Trisha says, absolutely not head of HR here. And mistakes that do not cost money to be spent is a mistake that can be fixed. Yes. Thank you, Trisha. Yes. I always say, like, is it a mistake that costs money or was it a mistake and it was just a lesson learned for you? Thank you, Trisha. All right, the market is so saturated. So the better question is, how does one position themselves from the rest? Okay, this is where y'all know marketing, or some people call it self-marketing, but really personal branding is my specialty. This is where I see most of my clients, Black women and women of color, struggle because you need to look at what you do in a different way. So I used to ask people like, what's your accomplishments? They were like, nothing. I was like, but you did. I'd be like, well, what'd you do today? And they'd be like, I found this $1 million era. And then yesterday I had to do this other girl's job because she got fired and like all these things. So with the market being extremely saturated, how you set yourself apart is you need to have not just transferable skills, you need to have transferable accomplishments that have a that are quantifiable. This is no longer optional. This is no longer optional. That is the bare minimum. You also need to be networking and making connections. Most of my clients who are getting new jobs right now, and this is going to be, I would say for the last 2.5 years, they really got those jobs from referrals, like being referred to someone. Because I don't know if you all heard, I think it was one tech company. They just laid off like 30,000 people. How crazy is that? 30,000 people at one time. So now all these people are in the market who have these skills. It is not just enough to look good on paper. And this is where I see some of us struggle is we cannot articulate in person or on paper how we have saved the company money, created a legacy, created a new way of doing things, changed the industry, right? I had a client and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to be out of town this weekend." I was like, "Doing what?" She's like, "Oh, I'm getting this award." And I was like, "Oh, is it for your company?" She's like, "No, it was she was actually getting an industry award that her peers nominated her for and voted for because she had created this ad that was like revolutionary and had it nowhere on her LinkedIn, nowhere on her resume. It is no it is no longer optional. I call it hiding your trophies. You can no longer hide your trophies. They need to be up front in the glass, and you need to create the narrative of what this means. So we can no longer just be like, I have a degree. Like I had someone, she went to Harvard. She was like, I have a degree from Harvard. I understand that. But why does this degree from Harvard allow you to stand out and make you the best person for my company? And here's another thing. A lot of people are like, I'm qualified. It's no longer to be qualified. Why are you the best? Because they're going to have a whole pool of qualified candidates. Why are you the best? And you need to be explicit and don't just say, once I get the interview. This needs to be shown, discussed, and talked about before the interview. And I'm so serious before the interview. So I need you all to think about this. Is one of the things I ask my clients. It's like, not why should they hire you? Why should they hire you right now? Right now. This is what you want. Why should they hire you right this moment? And I think in the past, we really haven't had to ask ourselves that question. Like, even for me as a business owner, I have to ask myself, why should someone hire me right now versus like, I'll hire you in 3 months or 6 months? I need to answer that. So for you all, it's like, why should I hire you right now, right this moment, not in 90 days? Because as we see, they coming out with new rulings, new everything every day. Why should I hire you right now? That forces you to think and present yourself and your accomplishments in a different way. And this is going for careers and businesses. Right now, the new question is like right now. Now, are you qualified? Why are you the best? Not why should I hire you? Why should I hire you right now? And I had a client and I was working with her and we had stopped working together and then she came back and she was like, "Hey Latrice, I have this interview with this company. I did these slides. Can you look over the slides?" I'm like, "Sure." I look over the slides, perfectly presentable. If this was 4 years ago, she would have gotten hired, but it wasn't. And I was like, we got to talk. And so I was like, you need to change this. I was like, one, you need to present like you already work there. Use their brand colors. Talk about what you're going to do. Project the amounts that you're going to save or generate or create. Put that in the slide. Be explicit. Don't make people think, right? And you need to talk about like the now, not in 6 months, not in a year, not 5 years, the now. She did that. By the time she got home, she already had an email for them, and they were like, "We loved her." They were like, "We love you so much." They had other candidates waiting, and they were like, "We want to tentatively offer you the job." That's the energy you are going for right now. All right, let me check these other comments. Let me know if that makes sense. A mistake that caused me to fail an audit but didn't cost anyone money. Okay, Deanna, we've all failed audits before. Like I don't want to make light of it, but I've done that too in HR. Um, this is a learning opportunity, not a failure. Yeah, what went wrong? How can you improve? Yeah, for the next audit, maybe it's a checklist. Maybe it's changing the system so that you can easily retrieve things. Oh, thank you, Trisha. All right. Nothing I have any side exit portfolio, bare minimum needed. All right. Abby says I was laid off in March. I'm in the process of starting a business. And this is Abby. I'm reading your comment. I've networked, but not much. Okay. Is there any advice you would give for me to prioritize? Honestly, knowing your ideal person and the problem that you solve for them, like now, how is this going to change their life now? Then you can start talking about it. And as you network, adjust your messaging. Adjust your messaging. Like even with my fearless branding formula and the messaging is like I help women of color land a six-figure promotion or increase their salary by 20 to $50,000. That was not an overnight thing. That took, I would say, months of workshopping. But in the meantime, I was getting clients saying like other things, but that took months of workshopping. As I was networking, I was using that as feedback. As I'm getting on calls with people and people are telling me what they need, use that as feedback. But it actually shouldn't stop you from securing a couple of clients. My first one and two clients always say, we're referrals. Now is the time for those connections and referrals. But be clear on a lot of times when I see people who are thinking about or starting a business, it is this is what I do. Great. What do you do for this person? How is that changing? Like I had somebody, they were like, they wanted to do like corporate speaking. Great. What are you speaking on? They were like, motivation. Okay, but like motivation. You want to be a motivational speaker? Great. Who are you motivating? They were like, the team. To do what? Right? Where what we drilled it down to was she wanted to be and we changed it to motivation, but she wanted to be a sales trainer for the sales team. Okay, that's different. You want to help these companies increase their productivity and their sales by motivating, encouraging, and teaching long-term skills to the sales team. That is different from I want to be a motivational speaker. So get clear not just on what you do, but how does it transform the person or the company or the entity. Okay. So not just I'm an accountant, but I can save you money. Right? Like I can save you over 20. Our accountant was like, hey, I can guarantee you I can save you 20,000 on your tax bill, your tax liability from what you paid last year. I was like, all right, sweetheart. I was like, well, if you can do it, let's do it. Like I was like, okay, right? Think about that. And this may be some contradictory advice, but right now, your brand, meaning that reputation, what you can do for people and the easiness and the quickness of it is going to trump a website, is going to trump emails, funnels, all of that stuff. This will trump it. Some of these other things that people teach, they are a priority and work once you have your messaging, once you've had a few clients. Like there's some foundational work that needs to be done. In the meantime, while you're doing that foundational work, you can get clients, but the first priority is going to be building their brand, understanding your messaging of really like how do I help them? What's the transformation? And then like networking. I love, love, love LinkedIn. Even with all the things that they're doing, if you're better at another social media, like Instagram or Facebook or something like that, you can do that too. But I networked in person. That was how I got my first couple of clients. And then I told my coworkers, my former coworkers and colleagues what I did, and how I could help them. That was how I got my first few clients. That is actually how a lot of my clients are getting their clients now. Um, I want to go back to this, but I want to read this question. Yes, the recording will be sent out, Trisha. The recording will be sent out. Thank you. Okay. Um, I'll say this. Oh, let me make sure. Be sure if you haven't, be sure to go ahead and book the 15-minute call. This is how I'm going to be like chatting with you all. I want to see what comes up for you all, how I can improve my messaging, right? But that's not going to stop me from like presenting and working with people and things like that. But I wanted to share this really quickly. I had a client, she was looking for another job and she had some issues. When we talk about limiting beliefs with that money, she had some limiting beliefs for her money, and she thought the salary she was asking for was too high. Okay. Her boyfriend had told her, family members had told her this, her job. And when she came to me, I was like, okay, I understand what they're telling you. Let's just look at the data. Like and she lived in California. When we looked at the data, she was being significantly underpaid. So that's one thing. Please don't let other people's opinions and feelings decide your money. Don't put limits on your money either. However, as she was doing these interviews, and I have some theories. I think because her mindset was like, hey, I'm asking for too much. She was actually getting companies saying you're asking for too much. My solution, I was like, hey, or you could just apply to companies that can afford to pay you, right? Like simple solution. However, one of the things that she did, because we worked on her mindset, manifesting, her feeling like she knew her worth, one of the things we did was I was like, you are worth it. Look what you've done. We changed those tasks into accomplishments with quantifiable accomplishments. If you don't know exact amounts, put the word approximate and you put a number there. Okay. We did that. She had a company who was like, hey, we love you, but we can't afford to pay you at this time. Do you know what she said? She was like, no worries. I am an expert in my field. Looking at the job description and after speaking with you all, I think I can do this in 15 hours a week. I would like to work with you all as a client. And you know what? They hired her. That's how she started her business as an HR consultant. This is what I'm saying. You have to have that mindset, know your worth, know your CEO identity, and then articulate that. She was like, I can do this in a fraction of the time because I am an expert. So she was like, I will save you all money. She's like, you can't afford to pay me all this? No worries. I'm going to save you all money. I'm going to do it in a fraction of a time. You don't need to find a full-time employee. You don't need to pay them, you don't need to pay benefits and all this. I'll do it. And she's been working with them maybe 2 years now. Then they referred her to another client. So she works full time in HR, and then she has her business as an HR consultant to private companies. So I share that to show you all what it looks like when you're putting all of these things together, when you're working on your mindset and know your worth, when you know how to articulate the transformation or like what's in it for them. Because they were like, oh, yeah, you're right. The math was mathing. Like, oh, yeah, we can pay you a fraction of this. And it was remote. So she got to do it from home. They're getting the same amount of work done, but they don't have to hire somebody full time and pay them benefits. And now she has two sources of income. And they loved her so much, they referred her to another company. So she has a growing business and she is not like on social media. She's on it sometimes, but she's not like always promoting, sending out all these emails. She did a lot of her business and built her business solely by referrals. So I share that to be like, it can be simple, it can be easy. It doesn't have to take a lot of your time. I always recommend, especially right now, please get a secondary source of income, right? Even if you're looking for a job. If you were making six figures in your previous role, you have a six-figure skill. You can build off that. You can build a six-figure business. All right. Any other questions? Let me check. I just wanted to share that with you all so you all see how everything's put together, but let me check. All right, if y'all see me up on the screen, I need glasses, but I never put my glasses on, so I'm like up on the screen. All right. Let me just make sure I didn't miss anything. And then tell you that. Okay. All right. And feel free, if you are on LinkedIn, and I said this earlier, feel free to put your LinkedIn profile in the comments. Feel free to network and connect with each other. I said right. I'm just going back, making sure I didn't miss any questions. All right. Okay. I feel like I made too many mistakes. Okay. All right. Let me see. I'm gonna unpin myself. I feel like my head is so big, you guys. All right. Any other questions before we hop off? Any comments? Any final remarks? Let me know. All right. And did y'all share your LinkedIn? Let me see it. Nobody shared? Y'all better be networking. Who was that who said they were starting Abby? Oh, I should be seeing some LinkedIn profiles in here. She said, let me log into LinkedIn now. like, let me log in there. Yes, connect. All right. Well, I'm gonna give y'all 5 more minutes. I'm gonna put mine in too. I think most people are connected with me, but I'm putting my LinkedIn profile. I'm gonna get y'all started. She said, I'm waking up and can't get my LinkedIn up. Oh, I'm walking. No worries, no worries. Abby, that's a good thing. I always walk and like listen to workshops or walk and listen to books, and audiobooks is my new thing, and then podcast. All right, Trisha. Okay. Abby says, is it Abby El Sharife? Let me know. She said you all can just search her up for that. Let me see if I can pull mine up really quickly. Sometimes it is like, oh, I gotta pull up LinkedIn. Look, I'm gonna be doing more of these. I'm gonna be doing a career Q&A, a business Q. If you all are on my email list, I'm gonna be doing a business Q&A, like a ask me anything. Have your LinkedIn profiles ready. You should be connecting and networking. This is one of the easiest ways. Again, I've been in like the comment section, like been on like a workshop and been on the comment section. Because I know what I do, my transformation, I was like, when I was doing my fearless branding formula, I put it like in the comments, and I had people messaging me from the comments of another workshop. So I'm going to tell you all right now, relationships is everything. You still need to be qualified. But I am seeing, not us, but we've all seen people who were less qualified than us get a role that we should have had, right? Now is our time to network with each other, share opportunities, tell other people about each other. It may be a role that you see that's not great for you, but good for someone else. It could be maybe someone's looking for a coach or an advisor, and you're like, okay, this person isn't for me, but hey, they would be great for this other person. I told you I built my business on referrals and renewals. That is like, once I work with people, it's almost a guarantee that they're either going to renew with me or refer me to someone else. I have one client, um, I can track her down. I can trace back this one client to around $30,000 worth of revenue because I collaborated with someone who I didn't really know that well. So watch who you collaborate with. And she kind of did the person wrong. And I was like, hey, I'll take care of this for free. I was like, I don't like the way she moved. That doesn't represent me. I'm going to take care of this. I took care of her. She was like, I love and enjoyed working with you. She referred me to a coworker. That coworker referred me to people, and it went on and on. I think my what's the name was like frozen, you guys. Okay. All right. I didn't put my yeah, I was trying to get my LinkedIn. It put my virtual card in there. Okay. I will even all right. We gotta let me find this is funny. I'm gonna put my LinkedIn in here. If you are connected with me, great. Be sure to follow me. If you are not, connect with me, send me a DM. Let me know. We're gonna be logging off soon. Oh my goodness. I said all that stuff about why is it? I think I have too many screens up, y'all. Okay. If I can't get this in like 1 minute, we will move on. Okay. I will send you on my LinkedIn. I'm not sure why it is. I think I have too many screens open. My internet it's running slow. Any other questions or final remarks before we head out, you guys? All right. All right. I'm gonna hop off. I said 30 minutes, so we did good. We did right on time for the questions, the comments. I will send you all my LinkedIn. Also, if I can, if you all don't mind, I may even just to the people on here, I may send your profiles, maybe just for how many people are on here? Five? Not too many. We'll see. Let me know if you don't mind. And we may just send it to the five people. All right. But you all have a great night. Yes, all right. I don't know if it's my internet, my computer. All right. So I don't see any other comments. If I missed any comments, feel free to message me or email me back. Okay. We're all good. Thank you all for staying. We're gonna get those the LinkedIn messaging templates to you all as well. Have a wonderful night, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you soon and speaking with you all.